The problem is too many people don't define the words. A serpent is not just a snake. It's also a low, a deceiving, conniving person. Oh, here come Uncle such and such. He's a snake. Is he really a snake? No, that's how he's operating, like a deceptional person. Keep reading, bro.
And he said unto the woman,
What did he say to the woman? So
Yea.
now hold on, man. The serpent is having a conversation with this woman. What did he say to her?
Yea,
What?
have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent,
And what she say? So look, man, he asking her a question. What God said, right? Hey, read.
we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it.
Why did he say that?
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Oh, that's why he said it. See, so God's intention was never to plant any tares in you. He planted good seed. Because he told you in the previous chapter, he said, don't eat from that tree when of knowledge of good and evil, don't eat from that tree, because that's where the tares come from. Oh, we're going to see. I done let the cat out the bag, but keep reading.
And the serpent said unto the woman,
What the serpent say, brother?
ye shall not surely die.
Oh, that's blasphemy. That's sacrilege. God told Adam in the previous chapter, you shall surely die. So this guy right here, which don't have more power than God, is telling Eve, you shall not surely die. Look at this tear. He's the father of the tares. Read.
For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods,
Right.
knowing good and evil.
Knowing good and evil. See, the Lord is just trying to teach you good. But since the evil is there, I tell you to stay away from it. God ain't going to make you do things. He's going to tell you what it is you need to do. And it's up to you to make that decision. Wherever you land up at the end of your life is because of your life choices. Read.
Verse 9.
Yes, skip down to 9. Thank you, brother.
And the Lord called unto Adam and said unto him,
What did he say, brother?
where art thou?
Where you at?
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee?
So now, look, we see what's going on right here, right? Now the Lord is trying to figure out, man, how did you know you was naked, right? What was that question God just said?
And he said, who told thee?
God said, who told you? He never said, what fruit did you pluck from a tree? There is no fruit in the world that you can bite into and become instantly intelligent. He's talking about, keep reading because he's going to tell you.
Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree?
Have you eaten of the tree that what?
Wherefore I commanded thee.
As a command, he commanded him not to eat of that tree. He said, did you eat of that tree? Did you receive information from Satan? Another word for eat, consume, consumption. He's eating knowledge. You know, he gave it to Eve, and then Eve gave it to Adam, right? Keep reading.
Wherefore I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat. And the man said,
what did he say?
The woman whom thou gavest to be with me,
what did he say?
She gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Well, keep reading.
And the Lord God,
if we don't keep reading, we're going to get in trouble. Read.
And the Lord God said unto the woman,
what God say? Okay.
What is this that thou hast done?
Wow, this is a great question. God said, what is this that thou hast done? You done killed the creation. Basically, that's what you did, right? Keep reading.
And the woman said,
what she say?
The serpent beguiled me.
See, the serpent, this devil tricked her, beguiled her, deceived her. And because of that, what she do?
And I did eat.
Just the same way. So if the devil is using people, he can deceive people. And you can start to receive and consume information that may be detriment to your walk. This is why you need to be on your P's and Q's, right? Keep reading, bro.
And the Lord God said unto the serpent.
Now it's time for the Lord to start dealing out some punishments. We're going to deal with the punishment of the serpent. Read.
Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
He said you're cursed above all cattle, right? You got to keep in mind, Satan is a heavenly being. You can go to Ezekiel 28 and see his makeup of diamonds and all this stuff. He wasn't, made of the dust like we were. So he's above, and he done put them below. He put him below us in flesh. Keep reading.
And above every beast of the field.
Every beast of the field, put them below that. Put him below that. Keep reading.
Upon thy belly shall thou go.
This is a heavenly being now, right? Oh, he said, upon thy belly, what?
shalt thou go,
And what?
and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Oh, I guess that's what makes him a snake, huh? Because you put him on the belly and dust he shall eat off his life. Only thing the Lord did is put him in chains of darkness for the rest of eternity. Well, not for the rest of eternity, correct. Until their judgment. Keep reading.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
So he said, I'm going to put enmity between thee and the woman. That's hatred. That's ill will. That's what enmity is. I'm going to put hatred and ill will between you and the woman. Go ahead.
And between thy seed and her seed.
And between your seed, Satan, and her seed. Now, the thing is, Satan don't have no physical seed. He don't go around there laying around with women like these false doctrines out here are saying. No. Women don't have seeds either. So he said, and I will put enmity between thee, that's Satan, and the woman, that's Israel, and between thee, thy seed, and her seed. We're going to get more understanding. Keep reading.
It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Very good. Let's keep it moving. Let's go look at Revelation 12, because we need to understand who this woman is. I just told you, and we're going to understand who the seed is. Revelation 12. And pick it up at verse 1, bro. Revelation 12 and verse 1. When you get it. Good.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
So here go that woman. This woman is clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Go ahead.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Oh, this is Israel. Keep reading.
And she being with
and
child,
she, this woman being with child,
cried,
which
travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Go ahead.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Go ahead, brother.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon.
Do what? The dragon did what? The dragon stood before the woman to devour her child. The woman is Israel. The child is Jesus. That's that seed. Read.
For to devour her child as soon as it was born.
As it was born, right? Who was right there? Herod, wasn't he? Yeah, that's who he was using at that time. Herod. Go ahead, bro. Read. What verse you at?
5.
Yes, sir.
And she brought forth a man-child.
Yep.
Who was to rule all nations.
So just in case y'all didn't know who that is, this is clearly telling you. I mean, read.
Who was to rule all nations.
I don't know anybody else that's supposed to rule all nations, brother.
With a rod of iron.
Oh, with a rod. Thank you.
Yes,
Keep reading.
And her child was caught up unto God.
Oh, I don't know another child that was called up to God other than Jesus. So we clearly understand who we're talking about right here. Read.
And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
And the woman fled there, just in case you ain't know who she was, she's fleeing. Who's fleeing into the wilderness?
Israel.
Oh, thank you, reader. You the only one awake? Read.
Where she have a place prepared of God.
Of God. She got a place prepared of God. Go ahead, that what?
That they should
read that again, because y'all didn't hear that. That what?
From the beginning?
Nope, read that part.
Where
again.
she have a place prepared of God.
That what?
That they should
read that
feed.
Part again.
That they should.
That who?
They.
That who?
Israel.
That no. That they. They who? God. Who's in the Godhead, y'all? Come on now, wake up. Read.
That they should feed her 1,260 days.
Skip down, brother.
9.
Yep, skip down to 9. No, skip down. Nope.
You're supposed to read 7 to 9.
Oh, yeah, keep going. Keep going to 9. Yeah, okay.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought in his angels.
So pay attention, y'all. We read right here where it says it's war in heaven. This is the question. If there's war in heaven, what makes us think that there would never be drama in the church? Think about that. Just think about this. So he said there was war in heaven, right? Go ahead, brother.
And prevailed not. Neither was there place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out.
This great dragon, this is that same cat in the Genesis. Read.
That old serpent.
See, first of all, pay attention. God cast this dragon out of heaven. He's going to come back later on and cast out all things that offend. You better make sure you're not a tearing that offending God's kingdom before he come. Read.
Called the devil
Yep.
and Satan.
And Satan. See all these other titles he have. He ain't Lucifer no more. Read.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
What he do?
Deceiveth the
He
whole
deceived
world.
the whole world. Even Eve said, I was beguiled. He beguiled me, right? That's what he did. He told her, you shall not surely die.
Mhm.
That's what he said to her. God said, you shall surely die. Which one's telling the truth? I believe God. Keep reading.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So he ain't down here by himself, raising hell. Right? Keep reading.
15.
Yep.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman,
Uh-huh.
that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
What we see here, we see Satan always making war with the woman.
Mhm.
Always. That was his first agenda. As soon as he got cast out, it said, and to the woman. What verse was that?
That was 15.
Oh, okay. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that's Israel, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. You have to understand what this is telling you. You're being chased into the wilderness. You ain't going to just walk up into the wilderness, get on a plane. No, somebody's chasing you there. This is the first remnant that's going to make it. You're being chased, just like Exodus. Wasn't they being chased? And then that water stopped them. Like, oh, Moses, what's going on? It's the same thing. Nothing new under the sun. Keep reading.
And the earth helped the woman,
And the earth helped the woman.
and the earth opened her mouth,
Yes, sir.
and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his
That
mouth.
flood is an army, y'all. That's all that is. It's an army. Read.
And the dragon was wroth with
I
the
can
woman,
take y'all to Daniel and show y'all that, but keep reading, brother.
and went to make war with the remnant of her
He
seed.
did what?
Went to make war with the remnant of her
Of
seed.
her seed, because it's that enmity between these two. Already, look at this. Even at the end right here, he's making war between the remnant of her seed, those that did not make it. That's caught up in this world. You ain't make it to that wilderness. It's not good. Go ahead, read.
Which keep the commandments of God.
Oh, what is this seed? He said this seed is they which keep the commandments of God.
And
What else? And yeah, that's right. What else?
have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Plain and simple as that. You need them both, right? So
Mhm.
now let's keep it moving, right? Let's go to Matthew 13. Let's go back and finish up and get an understanding of this parable we got here. Matthew 13 and
36.
thank you, sir. 36. Matthew 13 and 36. So let me see. Go ahead, brother.
Then Jesus sent the multitude away.
So remember, the Lord was telling them the parable of the seed, right? He was telling them about the good seed and the bad seed, and everybody slept, and the enemy did this and did that, right? Let them grow together. He said all that. So now read that again, bro.
Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house.
Yes, sir.
And his disciples came unto him,
Mhm.
saying,
Saying what?
Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
So apparently the apostles or the disciples didn't understand the parable. So they asked Jesus, can you help us understand it? Go ahead.
He answered and said unto
What
them,
he say? Let's see what the master say. Read.
He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
Oh, who's the Son of Man? Go ahead.
The field is the world.
Oh, the field is the world, right? Who deceived the world? Satan, did he not?
Mhm.
So he's letting you know the field is the world. He told you he planted good seed in the field. The field is the world. Read.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom. This is people that obey God and trying to get inside of the kingdom, right? Keep reading, brother. Let me tell you something, man. I'm just laying down the foundation of this lesson. Oh, it's about to get deep. It may cut. It cut me. You understand? I say, Lord, it's going to cut. And I ain't pulling no punches. Read.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
The tares of who?
The children of the wicked
The
one.
children of the wicked one. That's the seed. Even to tell you that Cain was of that wicked one when he slew Abel. Who's the wicked one? Satan, right? Read.
The enemy that sold them
Who's
is
that? Who's the enemy, brother?
the devil.
The devil. That's the enemy that sold him. See? So what you think? The enemy can't come up here and sow some seed up in you, and then you start speaking out of turn? Read.
The harvest is the end of the
The
world.
harvest end of the world, because he said, let them grow together. Let the Lord, he's going to take care of that. Go ahead.
And the reapers are the angels.
Mm-hmm.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
There it is again, because he told you the first time we didn't understand that tares get burned up. That's what he said. That's why it behooves you, or it's necessary to make sure you got a tear. Or goat, read.
So shall it be in the end of this world.
Yes, sir.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels,
Uh-huh.
and they shall gather out of his kingdom
What is he going to gather out of his kingdom, brother?
all things that offend.
Some things.
All things
All things
that
he's going to
offend.
gather all things that what?
offend.
Offend. Just like he gathered all things out of heaven and cast it out of fin. And it's down here with us till he come down here, clean up this place, and set up shop. Keep reading.
And them which do iniquity.
And, that's what offend. Them that do iniquity, right?
Mhm.
If you didn't know what offend, he said, and them which do iniquity. What else?
And shall cast them into a furnace of fire.
Oh, keep reading, brother.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
It is no party in the lake of fire. No, and I say that because I've heard they were teenagers, but still to be that, you know what? Keep reading.
Then shall the
There's
righteous
nothing nice great come out of my mouth. So let me just shut up. Go ahead.
then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun. In
Don't you want to be one of the righteous to shine forth as the sun?
Yes, sir.
Or do you want to be one of them dim lights in the lake? Read.
In the kingdom of their Father.
Yes, sir.
Who have ears to hear, let him hear.
Let them hear, right? So the enmity or the mutual hatred between Satan's seed and the woman's seed. That's it right here. Children of the kingdom, children of obedience, children of disobedience, wicked people. There's only two types of people in the world. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to Romans chapter 6. Watch this. Romans chapter 6. Romans chapter 6 and verse 14, brother. Romans chapter 6 and verse 14. And when you get it, go ahead and read.
For sin shall not have dominion over you.
Okay, so he says sin. Anybody know what sin is? That's right, transgression of the law. 1 John 3 and 4. Sin shall not have dominion over you. I'm going to tell you what's supposed to have dominion over you. If you go to chapter 7 and read verse 1, it says, now you know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law had dominion over a man. How long? As long as he lived. That's what's supposed to have dominion over you, not sin. But go ahead, start verse 14 again, brother.
For sin shall not have dominion
It ain't
over
supposed
you.
to have no dominion over you at all. Read.
For ye are not under the law,
You ain't under the law of sin and death, but what?
but under grace.
You under the blood of Christ. Why you think you're sitting here now? Because if you wasn't under the blood, we all doomed. Keep reading.
What then? Shall we sin?
So what then? Shall we sin? Shall we break the law, God's law? Read.
Because we are not under the law?
Because should we break God's law because we're not under the law of sin and death? That doesn't even make no sense. Read.
But under grace?
But under grace, what's the answer?
God forbid.
No. Nope. Read.
Know ye not
Here
that,
it is. Here's the hook.
that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey,
What about it?
his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
So let's see what kind of servants you can obey. Read.
Whether of sin unto death,
That's one servant, whether of sin unto death. Romans 6:23. For the wages of sin is what? Death. So who's leading people to death? It's that devil, right? Or because there's only two types of people in the world. Or what, brother?
or of obedience unto righteousness.
Or obedience to righteousness. You either going to obey Christ or do what you want and follow your father, the devil. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I don't care how many names you put on people. You still end up with two types of people in the world. You either serving God or you not. It's which one? Go ahead, brother.
That's it.
That's it?
Mhm.
Okay. So he said, know ye not that to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey. Notice what he said. You yielding yourselves to obey somebody. See, because God ain't going to force you to do what he's saying. He's going to tell you what it is you need to do.
That's right.
And you either going to willfully do it or not. It's just that simple. Know ye not to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. Huh? Let's keep it moving. Where we at now, bro?
John.
Let's go to
8.
John 8. Let's go look at Satan's seed real quick before we move on. We understand the woman is who?
Israel.
And the woman's seed is who? And now we're about to deal with Satan's seed. You don't sleep with women. I don't know why they say that. Let's go to
8 and 43.
John 8.
Yep.
John 8, and I want 43. John 8 and 43. And when you get it, my brother, go ahead and get it. 8
What?
and 43. Go ahead.
Why do ye not understand my speech?
Jesus said, why do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's what he's saying. You don't understand what I'm saying, right? What else?
Even because ye cannot hear my words.
See, so that's why the Lord always say, he who has ears to hear, let them hear. Everybody can hear, but they can't hear spiritually. He said, even because you cannot hear my word. You ever try to show somebody Bible and then they shut you down real quick? That's them. They can't hear that.
Don't understand.
John 3:13. No man is sent to heaven, but he. Oh, no. They want to close the book up on you. No. You closing the book on yourself. You're deceiving yourself. Read.
Ye are of your father the devil.
Oh, what? They're who?
Your father the devil.
What makes them of their father the devil? Did he have some? Keep reading. Like, we're gonna understand. Let's keep reading.
And
what
the,
makes them keep reading? Read.
And the lust of your father.
There it is.
Ye will do.
Huh?
Ye will do.
She said the lust of your father you will do. This is what makes the devil your father. He didn't go around with women. It's that you doing the lust of your father, right? What else is you doing?
He was a murderer from the beginning.
We saw that.
And abode not in the truth.
We saw that too.
Because there is no truth in him.
Read that part again. What happened?
Because there is no truth in him.
So even if he tells you a little truth, it's still lying because he got a lie behind it. You shall not surely die. That's a lie. Read.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
See that he's the liar. And what else?
For he is a liar.
And what?
And the father of it.
And the father of it. Keep going, brother.
And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
Uh-huh.
Which of you convenience me of sin? Convinceth me of sin.
Go ahead.
And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me?
Why do you not believe me? Go ahead, one more.
He that is of God heareth God's word.
Read that again.
He that is of God heareth God's word.
He that is of God hear God's words. What else?
Ye therefore hear them not.
But why? Why they don't hear God's words, brother?
Because ye are not of God.
Oh, so if they ain't of God, it's only one person you are of.
The devil.
That's it. It's that. It's no in between. It's either you are of Jesus or the devil. So this is why they can't hear. Why you think they always picked up bricks and stuff and try to stone Jesus? They don't know no book. That's why Jesus said, search the scriptures. He quoting stuff and they just ready to brick you. Don't understand what he talking about. So now let's go to John, 1 John chapter 3, right? Because he said you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. This is what makes you the seed of Satan. Huh? You don't understand that? Let's go to 1 John. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3. 1 John chapter 3. And let's pick it up at verse 4. Yes, sir. 1 John 3 and 4. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
Whosoever committeth sin.
Read that one more time.
Whosoever committeth sin.
That means anybody. Whosoever committed sin. Go ahead. What they do?
Transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
See, that's what sin is. Sin is the transgression of the law. Verse 7.
Little children, let no man deceive you.
Read that one more time, please.
Little children, let no man deceive you.
Anybody know what that means? Let no man deceive you.
Lie to you.
Say it again.
Lie to you.
Yeah, he said, let no man deceive you, right? Do you know that's including yourself? Yeah. Because nobody deceive you more than yourself. Read.
He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous.
Go ahead.
He that committeth sin.
Here it is. He that committed sin is what?
of the devil.
Oh my goodness. That's what makes you the devil's seed. He that committed sin is of the devil. Go ahead.
For the devil sinned from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
For this purpose, the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the
The
devil.
works of the devil is what? Sin and death. Right? So now let's keep it moving. I was about to ask something. You know what? I ain't gonna do that. Let's go to 1 Peter. 1 Peter. It looked like we breezing through, but I ain't gonna lie. I got some chapters in here. We gonna it's you just don't see it yet. But anyway, 1 Peter chapter 5, and give me verse 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8, brother. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Anybody that commits sin is of the devil. Ain't that what he just read? That's what Brother Keith just read. Brother Keith just read us that. He read us some book. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Go ahead, brother.
Be sober, be vigilant,
You know what? Since you here, start at 6. Let's do that. Let's just add that.
humble yourselves.
Woo! That is the most important ingredient you need. Humble yourself. Remove that pride from you. Go ahead.
Therefore, under the mighty hand of God.
See, humble yourself under God. You know, maybe I shouldn't use that for example. I might get in trouble. Keep reading.
That he may exalt you in due time.
In due time. Go ahead, brother.
Casting all your care upon him,
Uh-huh.
for he careth for you.
Why?
Be sober,
You got to be sober.
be vigilant,
Uh-huh.
because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion,
What is he doing, brother?
walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
See, he's seeking the weak to turn you into a tear. That's exactly what he's doing. He seek whom he may devour. That's why you got to be on your P's and Q's. You think Satan is going to walk up into you and deceive you? No. He's going to use somebody like me or Brother Keith or somebody to deceive you, to do his work if we give into that type of stuff. Go ahead, brother.
That was it.
That's it.
Mhm.
All right, so now let's go to Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1. Let's go get some OT up in here. Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1, and let's pick it up at verse 1, brother. Job 1 and 1. Go ahead, brother.
There was a man in the land of Uz,
Mm-hmm.
whose name was Job,
Mm-hmm.
and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil.
So he was perfect and upright. Not only that, he feared God. And not only that, he shunned away evil. That's who Job is. This is a righteous man right here, right? Skip down, brother, verse 6.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before
Sons of God. Now we actually talking about who here?
angels.
These are angels we're talking about right here. Sons of God. Let's make sure that sticks. Go ahead.
Came to present themselves before the Lord.
I never seen a man that's able to go present themselves before the Lord or his throne. If you come across that, show me. But we know this is angels right here, right? What else?
And Satan came
Oh,
also.
so now we definitely know. Satan also came along with them. What happened?
Also among them.
Yes, sir.
And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou?
Mhm.
Then Satan answered.
Okay, God said, where you come from, Satan?
Mhm.
What's his answer?
Then
Remember 1 Peter 5 and 8. Huh? Go ahead.
Yep. Then Satan answered the Lord and said,
What did he say?
from going to and fro in the earth.
Oh, just like a roaring lion. He ain't say that part, but that's what he's doing. Seeking whom he may devour. Looking for the wheat. I need to turn wheat into tear, right?
Mhm.
Read.
And from walking up and down in it.
Yes, sir.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none
So
like
we
him?
see who brought up Job here. We clearly see that, right? Go ahead.
That there is none like him in the earth,
Mm-hmm.
a perfect
Oh, perfect.
and an upright man,
What else?
one that feareth God
Uh-huh.
and escheweth evil.
Go ahead.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught?
Mm-hmm.
Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side?
Because remember, it tells you in Revelation, he's the accuser that accuse our brethren day and night. He's an accuser. That's what he's accusing people. Go ahead.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands,
Uh-huh.
and his substance is increased in the land.
What else?
But put forth thy hand
See,
now.
it does not sound like Satan is speaking for Job. Yeah, he's good, man. You know, let me go help him out some more. No, I need you to do something so I can go destroy this dude. Go ahead, read.
But put forth thy hand now
Uh-huh.
and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Oh, notice he said he will curse thee to thy face. That's what he said. Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power.
All that he have is in whose power?
Thy power.
Is in Satan's power. So everything that you see that's happening to Job is caused by Satan because the Lord allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Only upon himself put not forth thine hand.
Don't kill him. Don't even touch him. Right? Go ahead.
So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
Man, he couldn't wait to get that executive order. Oh, and then he was out. Right, going right. So watch this now, right? So we see how he's trying to devour people that fear and serve God, right? Watch this. Let me show you something. Go to chapter 2 and pick it up at verse 1.
Again.
Whoa, because the title is Among Us, the Good Seed. Right? I'm gonna show you where these tares be at. Y'all thinking they just could be out in the world. Read, brother.
And there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
Again, we're talking about angels. These are angels here. Read.
And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
So you notice it says Satan came also because he's not a son of God no more. He's still an angel. But read.
And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou?
There it is again. He's asking, where you coming from? He's doing his job. He's doing his job. He's seeking whom he may devour. That's his job. Read.
And Satan answered the Lord and said,
what?
From going to and fro in the earth.
Yes, sir.
And walking from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity.
This is what you have to do. When you start to go through stuff, this is what we do. They still hold fast their integrity. They don't just blow off the map and blow up. No, you're supposed to hold fast your integrity. You ain't supposed to cuss out God because something ain't go your way. Who are you? You try to make it into the kingdom. This life we in right now is what? Temporary. This is not the real deal. Keep reading.
Although thou movest me against him to destroy him.
Part again. What did Satan do to God?
Although thou movest me.
Satan moved God against who?
Job.
That's
against,
right.
Against him to destroy him.
To
without
destroy
cause.
him. See that? Read.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man have will he give for his life.
Because remember, he said, don't touch his skin. Don't even touch him, right? So now, you know, he seen that didn't work. I got to lay hands on him. So now skin for skin, God. Because what I did before, I burned up his beast, killed his kids, etc., etc. Sabians fell on him and everything. That ain't work. Let me just let me touch him a little bit, God. Go ahead.
But put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
There it is again. He told him that. He told him the first time, he said, "Gonna curse you to your face." Notice this conversation is up in heaven, right? Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Satan,
what did he say?
Behold, he is in thine hand.
But what?
But save his life.
Okay, so you know you can touch him, but don't even kill him. Read.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with sore boils.
Y'all see what's going on here? Y'all don't see. A lot of us don't understand. You know, most of the illness and everything that's happening comes from angels. Read.
And smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot.
Y'all just think boils appear, huh? They just appear out of nowhere, huh? Go ahead.
From the sole of his foot unto his crown.
And what else?
And he took him a potsherd and scraped himself withal. And he sat down among the ashes.
Go ahead, brother.
Then said his wife unto him.
Then said who?
His wife.
His wife. What'd she say?
Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die.
Do what?
Curse God.
Curse God and do what?
And die.
And die. That's a tear in the house. You ain't know you got tears in your house. Look at this tear right here. She said, then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? she's been with him, I don't know how long, but she should know he's one of them men.
Right.
Cursed God and died. But somebody put that in her head. Because somebody had a conversation with God and said, he'll curse you to your face. So he can't appear to Job and say, curse God to your face. No, he got to use somebody next to Job to do that. Put that on his mindset. See, the seed is there. Now he planted it in the wife, and then she tried to plant it in Job. Curse God and what?
Die.
Dog. Where did that come from? Go ahead, brother. What else? What Job say, brother?
But he said up unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh.
Uh-huh.
What? Shall we receive good?
Yeah, so he's like, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speak. What? Go ahead.
Shall we receive good at the hand of God?
And what?
And shall we not receive evil?
Uh-huh.
And all this did not Job sin with his lips.
See, so this is what we have to understand. We think we only supposed to receive good from God. Or you think because we serving the Lord, we up in here on the Sabbath day, you know, we supposed to get checks and nobody's going to bother us and all this good stuff. No. Mm-mm. Go ahead, brother. That's
That's
it.
it. Yep.
Mm-mm. It goes both ways. The Lord hits you with both good and bad. So now let's go to Second Samuel. 2 Samuel. You gotta be careful of tares in your house. Think not that I come to bring peace, but a sword. What do he say? A man's foes is a man's enemies is where?
His own household.
Oh, that's what Jesus said. Jesus said that, not Stan Lee, not Brother King. So now let's go to 2 Samuel. And let's pick it up at chapter 6. And pick it up at 12. Yep. 2 Samuel 6 and 12, brother. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
And it was told King David, saying, the Lord hath blessed the house of Obed-Edom, and all that pertaineth unto him, because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with gladness.
So he seen that the Lord was blessing Obed-Edom, and that they said, let's it's time to go get this ark from over there, right? Go ahead, read.
And it was so that when they that bear the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And David danced before the Lord.
David dancing now. Go ahead.
Before the Lord with all his might.
He dancing before who?
The Lord.
The Lord. He's rejoicing. He got those type of spirits on. That's the spirit we supposed to have. He's rejoicing. He's dancing. He just got this ark back. Just showed you he did sacrifices, huh? What else, brother?
And David was girded with the linen of ephod.
Yes, sir.
So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with sound of the trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord.
Now, you know that's Saul's daughter. That's his wife. That's David's wife now. And she's looking out the window, looking at David, you know, dancing to the Lord. It may look like something else to her, but keep reading.
And she despised him in her heart.
She despised him in her heart. Because all she's doing is just peeping out the window. Oh, he's dancing. Okay, what you doing out there? Keep reading.
And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in its place, in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it.
Yes, sir.
And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord.
Yes.
And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts.
Yes, sir.
And he dwelt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the woman as men. To everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine.
Flagon of wine gotta be there, but go ahead.
So all the people departed, everyone to his house.
Go ahead, brother.
Then David returned to bless his house.
It's time to go home now. After serving the Lord, it's time to go home. Go ahead. What happened?
And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said,
what?
How glorious was the king of Israel today.
Oh, how glorious was the king of Israel today. She's being satiric. That's for sarcastic.
Smart. Yep.
Go ahead.
Who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids.
He did what?
Uncovered himself today in the eyes of the
But
handmaids.
we just read that he was dancing to the Lord.
Right.
You see what this tear in this house? This is a tear in the house. You got tears in your house. Now I'm gonna keep reading.
Who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants as one of the vain fellows.
What she call him?
Vain fellows.
She called King David a vain fellow. The last time I checked, God said he was a man after his own heart.
Yep.
You got to be careful when you speaking against God's servants. You care who you are, right? Go ahead.
Shamelessly.
I can see these women today. What you doing out there? Why was you all around her like that? You supposed to be in here. It's nothing new under the sun, though, right? And he's serving the Lord, man. He can't even serve the Lord and come home in peace. 6 days you in the world, you got hell around you, and you serving the Lord, and you got to go home to tears. Go ahead.
As one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered himself.
Shameless. She said, vain fellow, you shamelessly uncovered yourself. That's all she seen.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was in a strip joint in her mind when he's serving the Lord. Go ahead.
And David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord.
See, I was doing this before God. Go ahead.
Which chose me before thy father.
Oh, he chose me. Your daddy had his spot, but he put me in your pot spot. Go ahead.
And before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people
See,
of the Lord.
He didn't pass none of this down to Saul's sons and none. He gave it straight to me.
Don't
Right?
shout.
Go ahead.
Over Israel.
Over Israel. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore will I play before the Lord.
Oh, okay. So if that's what you're calling, I'm gonna play before the Lord. What else?
And I will yet be more vile.
I'm gonna be vile. That's what I am in your eyes. You look out the window and see me being vile when I'm dancing to the Lord. He said, yeah, but what?
I will be more vile than thus.
Oh, I'll be more vile than thus. So you think you hot now? You really gonna be hot. Read.
And will be base in my own sight.
Mm-hmm.
And of the maidservant which thou hast spoken of, of them shall I be had in honor.
See, they gonna show honor, but watch this. What happened?
Therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death.
The Lord closed the womb.
Mm.
Look, man. First of all, that's he's a king. So what is your husband? You speaking out of turn, but you got tears in your house. This is what you have to understand. Let's see. Let's look at some more tears. Where we at, brother?
Deuteronomy.
Let's go there. I bet you already know what it is. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 21. Deuteronomy 21. It flipped right over to it. Tears in your house. Tears in the house where you live at, where you abode, where you sleep. 21, Deuteronomy 21 and 18, bro. When you get it, go ahead.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
read that again.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious,
stubborn is worse than witchcraft. Ain't that what the book said? What else?
And rebellious son,
and a rebellious son. Read.
Which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother.
Because the last time I checked, Moses said you're supposed to teach the children diligently, the sons and the sons' and all that stuff. That's what he said, right? But sound like somebody ain't listening. Read.
And that when they have chastened them, will not hearken unto them. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
Go ahead.
And they shall say unto the elders of his city.
What they going to say to the elders of the city?
This our son is stubborn.
He's stubborn. This is a tear. Read.
And rebellious.
Read.
He will not obey our voice.
You want to live in my house. I'm telling you what to do on the Sabbath day. You ain't paying no rent. And you want to do what you want to do? Okay. Read.
He is a glutton.
He's a what? He eating all my food. You don't even try to go shovel no snow, cut no grass. You just eating up all my stuff and don't want to listen to me, right? Go ahead.
And a drunkard.
And not only that, you on a PlayStation all day, smoking weed and drinking all day, right? Go ahead.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
Say that again.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with
You
stones.
see what they did back then? They stoned kids with stones. Why did they do that, bro?
That he die, so shalt thou put evil away from among you.
See, that's what he's saying. See, you have to understand. The Lord is telling us to remove evil from the body of the church. You won't see that. Go ahead, brother.
And all Israel shall hear and fear.
And that's what's supposed to happen. The Lord won't fear on Israel so they can obey his word. Now, where we at, brother? Was that it?
Yeah.
Let's
Matthew
go to
26.
Yep, let's go back to Matthew chapter 26. Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Matthew 26 and pick it up at what?
14.
Yep. Matthew 26. Matthew 26. And let's pick it up at verse 14.
Yep.
All right. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you.
So notice he said in verse 14, then one of the 12 called Judas Iscariot went unto the chief priests. And he said unto them, what will you give me? And I will deliver him unto you. Look, this is a tear right here. This is a tear that was amongst Jesus' clique, amongst the righteous. See, this is what you have to be careful of, right? Read.
And they conveyance with him, covenant with him for 30 pieces of silver.
That's all Jesus is worth to him, huh? Go ahead.
And from that time he saw opportunity to betray him. Now the first day of the feast.
Now that's not skip down, bro. To 20. Yep. Skip down to 20.
Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you.
What do you say, brother?
That one of you shall betray me.
He said, one of you shall betray me. That's what Jesus said, right? Watch this. Keep reading.
And they were exceedingly sorrow. And began every one of them to say.
What? To point at Judas?
To say unto him, Lord, is it I?
Oh, see, because you don't know who's a tear. Sometimes tares don't even know they tares. True, that too. But it's just something to think about. Go ahead, read that verse again.
And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I?
So it sounds like they examining themselves. Lord, is it me? Am I going to betray you? Keep reading.
And he answered and said,
what did he say, brother?
He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me.
The same shall betray me. Go ahead.
The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
So he said the Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. He has to go. He has to be betrayed by this person. He has to die, etc., etc. He said, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Go ahead.
It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
And this is also teaching you something too. You know, once you come into existence, you exist. There's no such thing as oblivion. God ain't just make you and then you're going to go into non-existence. No, you exist. Exist. Go ahead, brother.
Then Judas, which betrayed him.
Judas, which betrayed him. What happened?
Answered and said, Master, is it I?
And he's sitting there talking about some master. Is it I? No, brother. Like, and I can see him. Like, because you just said how much you going to give me for him. Is it I, master? Go ahead, brother. Look at his tear, though.
And he said unto him,
what?
Thou hast said.
You have said, right? But you have to understand this. There's tares amongst you, tares amongst the righteous, tares amongst cliques. Isn't that what the apostles was to Jesus? What's a clique? Very good. I'm glad you asked that. A clique is a small, exclusive group of people to form or associate in. Clique. So that's what Jesus had right there, because remember, he had the 12 apostles, and then he had more disciples around him, and they started to leave. And he said to the 12, would you leave also? Peter said, where are we going to go? You the one with eternal life? So now, have you done that, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, where we at now?
John 12.
Okay, let's go to John 12. John chapter 12. John chapter 12. And let's pick it up at verse 1, brother. John 12 and 1. And when you get it, go ahead.
Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard,
Right, go ahead.
very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was
So this spikenard is very costly, y'all. It's a pricey oil. Go ahead.
and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment.
It had to smell good. Go ahead.
Then saith one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him,
Why
why
what did he
was
say, brother?
why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence
Oh, see, he worried about money, right? Go ahead.
and given to the poor?
And given to the poor. In reality, he don't care about the poor because Judas is about that bag. Read.
Then he said,
What'd he say?
not that he cared for the poor,
Oh, see, the book said it itself. He don't care for the poor, but what?
because he was a thief
He was a thief. And what else?
and had the bag,
See, he about that bag. He had that bag. See, go ahead, read.
and bear what was put therein.
And whatever was in that bag, he had it all the time. Just carrying it with him. Make sure nobody getting in or out of it, right? So that's all he was worried about right there. You got to pay attention to these tares. Let's go to the other spot, brother. Let's go to
Chapter 6.
Yep, chapter 6. John chapter 6. John chapter 6 and pick it up at verse 64. John 6 and 64. John 6 and 64. When you get it, brother. Hold on, I still have pages. John 6 and 64. John 6 and 64. Go ahead, bro.
But there are some of you that believe not. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. And he said,
What did he say?
therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me, except they were given unto him of my Father.
That's right.
From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Jesus unto the 12.
Because you got to remember, like, we seen people come up in here, and then we just don't see them again. That's what happens. And not just only up in here, really wherever I've been. I've seen people come and people go. I don't know if their faith was destroyed. They come and they get baptized, and you don't see them again. What happened? Go ahead.
Then Jesus said unto the 12,
What did he say to the 12, brother?
will ye also go away? Then Simon Peter answered him,
What did he say?
Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believe and are sure that thou art that Christ, the Son of the living God.
Go ahead.
Jesus answered them,
What did Jesus say, brother?
have not I chosen you 12?
Oh, see, Jesus said, didn't I chose you 12. I chose you. What else?
And one of you is a devil.
And one of you is the devil. See, don't you understand? Devils could be amongst the righteous, but even the Lord knew that. He said, Jesus answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is the devil? Who is the devil?
He spake of Judas Iscariot,
The one with the bag. That's who he's talking about. Go ahead.
the son of Simon.
Uh-huh.
For it was that should betray him,
Right.
being one of the 12.
Being one of the 12. Let's go to I'm adding this. Romans. Let's go to Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1. And pick it up at 28. Romans 1 and 28. Go ahead.
And
To 32. 28 to 32. Go ahead.
And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
This is what you gotta be careful of. You act like you know, you can have the spirit of God and you're going to keep that forever. You better check your boy Saul out. Didn't he have the spirit of God? And didn't he get that reprobate mind? He started prophesying when he got that other spirit on it. Then he prophesied taking off his clothes. If that ain't crazy, then what is it? He started going reprobate. That's why you have to make sure you're a weak. You're somebody that's serving the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord will turn you over to a reprobate mind. And ain't no coming back out of that once he do that. Go ahead.
To do those things which are not convenient.
And to do things that's not convenient. Go ahead, brother.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness.
What they filled with? Read that again.
Full of envy,
murder,
debate, deceit.
This is stuff that's going on inside the church. Read.
Malignity, whispers, backbiters.
Whispering. Don't people in the church whispering. What you whispering in the back for? I ain't talking about y'all literally. I'm just saying. That's what people do. They whisper, man. What else are they, bro?
Backbiters.
Backbiters, man. This is the stuff that's going on inside churches. Who you think he's addressing here? Read.
Haters of God.
Haters of God. Inside the church. What? Go ahead, bro.
Despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents.
What are they?
Without understanding.
Oh, no, you said what are they?
Disobedient
to parents. That's why we read that Deuteronomy 21. These kids around here thinking they can do what they want to do. Man, God gonna get you. God is gonna deal with you, whether you believe it or not. Go ahead, brother. Finish that.
Without understanding.
Without what? This is why everything's happening, because they don't have no understanding. Read.
Covenant breakers.
And they break covenants. You sit there, you come get baptized, you don't come back no more. Don't you understand you under a covenant with the Lord when you get baptized? Go ahead.
Without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Who knowing the judgment of God?
Read that part again, just in case they didn't know who he was talking to.
Who knowing the judgment of God?
He's talking to people that know the judgment of God. Y'all know the judgment of God in here, don't y'all? I would like to hope y'all do. Go ahead.
That they which commit such things,
what about it,
are worthy of death.
And what? Not only worthy of death, they did something else. What else?
Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
They have pleasure in the things that they do. So you don't play around with that. If the Lord turn you over to a reprobate mind, He's gonna make sure you have pleasure in the stuff you do, because that's the stuff you love. So now let's go to Mark 1. Let's go to Mark 1. This is the type of stuff that happens in the church. Mark chapter 1. And pick it up at verse 21. Mark chapter 1. And pick it up at verse 21. Mark 1 and 21. Did you get it? Go ahead.
And they went into Capernaum. And straightway on the Sabbath day, he entered into the synagogue and taught.
All right, so we see, it says, and they went into Capernaum, and straightway or immediately on the Sabbath day. So we see this is the Sabbath day right here. We see this is the seventh day, right? And when he, on the Sabbath day, what did he do? He entered into the synagogue. What's a synagogue? Ain't that a church? Yeah, that's where you hold service at, huh? Inside the synagogue, right? It says, and not only when inside, he taught. That's what you're supposed to be doing, teaching. What else?
And they were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one that had authority.
What else?
And not as the scribes. And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit. And he cried out.
Inside the synagogue, a man with the unclean spirit. Well, we think people with unclean spirits can't get up in here. I've seen fights break out. Unclean spirits up on somebody. Keep reading.
Saying,
what?
Let us alone.
Saying, let us alone. Sound like Legion don't want no beef with the Lord. Read.
What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth?
Thou Jesus of Rome?
Nazareth.
Nazareth. Even they know who he is. Jesus of Nazareth. That's who we represent. That's who we serve. Read.
Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee, who thou art, the Holy One of God.
So you see, the Lord cast out a devil out of the church. Go ahead, brother.
And Jesus rebuked him.
He did what?
Rebuked
And
him.
what he say?
Saying,
What?
hold thy peace.
And do what?
And come out of him.
In the church. Casting out devils in the church. See? So if havoc was going on in heaven, what you think is going on inside the church of people that's supposed to be serving God? You think drama can't get up in there? Oh, I've seen a lot of drama. But anyway, let's keep it moving, bro. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 16. Numbers chapter 16. Numbers chapter 16. And then we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
Now,
hold on. Number 16 and 1. Go ahead.
Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and on the son of Peleth, the sons of Reuben, took men.
Mm-hmm.
And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel.
What they do? What did Korah do?
Rose up before Moses.
He rose up before Moses by himself?
With certain of the children of Israel.
Oh, how many?
250 princes of the assembly.
And who are these
famous
people?
In the congregation?
Oh, they famous in the congregation. Men of what?
Renown.
Giants. Go ahead.
And they gathered themselves together.
See, because it goes over people's heads, so just keep reading. Not everybody. I know. Go ahead.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses.
They did what? Gathered themselves together against Moses. Peep what he said in verse 2. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation. So we got beef in the congregation. They rising up against Moses. We'll see what's going to happen, though. Verse 3 again, bro.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against